And now we talk something else. Kesah Princely, a person living with visual impairment, in a research conducted, reveals that people living with disabilities, particularly those with visual impairment in the crisis-ridden northwest and southwest regions, are highly vulnerable. According to his research, some have lost their lives due to the lack of accessible information. He suggests that the media men be drilled on inclusive communication. Rexafon spoke to some visually impaired persons who also shared their experiences.
Since the escalation of tensions in Cameroon's northwest and southwest regions, persons living with disabilities, especially those with visual impairment, have been in all kinds of dangers.
Evidence-based stories in Fundong where a blind person was killed because he was not aware of such rates, but this information was already circulating on social media. We know of information where hotspots in Bamenda have been targeted and blind people have been kidnapped, some have been tortured. And so these are things that media would help us to uncover so that measures can be taken to improve access to mass media, but more importantly, respect of international humanitarian law applicable in times of conflict.
If not for the swift intervention of the Almighty, Njukang Princely would have been shot in Mile 16, Boya.
And I was stepping out to get breakfast. And then the guy appeared from nowhere and began shouting, "If you shake, I'll shoot." I had no idea he was talking to me. In fact, I did not even think he could be talking to me. And so I just kept moving. And the guy repeated the threats over and over. And the next thing I noticed was that he was holding my neck and tapping the gun on my head. The only saving grace was that one of the persons who was part of that crew had probably seen me somewhere and knew that I was visually impaired. And so he shouted from behind, "No shoot, no shoot, that man a blind man."
The current state of these persons in the northwest and southwest regions requires a strict implementation of the law and the defense of their fundamental rights.
In terms of conflict, it's a kind of people act instinctively from an egocentric perspective. People run, and those, I mean, they seek to get safety, but those with disability, they find themselves in serious problems.
The work shows how alarming this is. And I think that government and its partners, civil society, NGO actors, the international community should have the recommendations on their desk to inform how policy can be shaped in this direction.
Kesah Princely presented his findings during his PhD thesis defense in Boya. His performance before the jury and the quality of his work earned him honors.
Rexafon reporting in Boya. Still in the southwest region, the situation in Bangambi is alarming. The bridge linking the village to the rest of Manyu division has been